Hello, Linux people. I'm going to play around with SSL and SSH, maybe a little SCP here, just for fun. Read about those services recently. Let's share my screen, maybe. All right, Zoom, you can go. All right, so I need couple terminals here, and what I want to do is on a remote server on GoDaddy, I need to install a certificate because it's about to expire, and I don't feel like paying GoDaddy extra. So let's see, I want recent command here. Here we go. And think this is the URL I want. And I better double check that. Let's see. Let's check my bash history. Got it in my notes somewhere. Okay, monthly report. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so less again is a paging text file viewer. Q to quit less once you've found what you wanted. And I did a search in less with a /. So helpful things to do. And back here, I need to run that command. And I have to run it as a super user. All right, so then what I need to do next is go to the remote site and find this directory and create this file name with the contents listed above. So Control-Shift-C to copy that. And then rather than send that file over, sometimes I find it easier to SSH into the account and then edit the file there. But you can go either way. I'll show SCP in a minute. All right, so then I need to get into the right location. And something to keep in mind on web servers, the URL and the file path aren't always the same thing due to aliases and other organizing strategies on web servers. So let's go start in public HTML. And okay, there I want the folder monthly report. There, I should see that there's a .well-known directory, which is a hidden directory. And in there should be the Acme challenge directory. And then in there, I want to make this file. And I'm just going to use the nano text editor because it's simple. Paste that name in. And then I got to go back and grab the file content. So this is a little handshake between this program running here called certbot, which is a Let's Encrypt program for creating SSL certificates. And so next I need to, oops, did I actually copy that? And paste it in. Control-X to quit, yes to save, enter to write the file name, and then the certbot should then go verify and find that file and say, yep, you own that website. Okay, so the next thing I would do is I'm going to go to my provider, and they have a place where I can upload this certificate. So what I did here, I wasn't uploading the certificate. That was a verification that I have access to this website. Once the access is confirmed, then I can make the secure certificate. I'm going to then I'm going to have to use my super user access to go grab that key. And along with the key, it's going to be a verification code, and I need the two of those together. And so I'm going to skip that part. So some things that went on here on this website here. Let's see, there should be a web server running. Oops, I need to grep for that. Not that. Is it Apache? Probably. If I could spell Apache. So why it's not showing. I guess we could do a full. Oh, I know why it's not showing. Because this user isn't actually running the web server. It's just hosting the files for the web server and GoDaddy's configuration of all this stuff here. Let's go take a look at my local server for some stuff going on. So in the background on this server that this user doesn't have access to, there's a web server running, and there's a SSH server running. And so when I did that SSH command, I could get in there and see it. Another way I could have done this was I could have made that file here locally. So for example, let's copy that. And let's just put that, let's make a directory here to play with that. Let's call it remote. And then go into remote. And then we're going to nano that file again. And then, oops, I lost the contents to it though. So we're just going to X out of there for a second. Up here and get the content. So the alternative to SSHing in there to do it. Button. There we go. Manage the content, Control X, yes to save it, enter to write to that place. So now if we look at that file again, we should see there's content there at the top, that string. So to send that over to the other server, I would have to do something like this, SCP, and I want to SCP this file right there. So what is being sent goes first, and then where is it going? So it is going to scroll up here, this user. Go. And so, oops, I got some extra characters because I did a Control V instead of a Control Shift V. It's a pain. All right, so that's the server. So then I put a semicolon, and then I got to find a place on the server. So it would, and here's where I have to know where it goes. So if getting to that place isn't that easy, you just put it somewhere easy and then move it after from the remote server. So according to my memory, it was something like public underscore HTML slash, and then you'd have to know the whole address to where it goes. And because it's on the remote server, tab complete's not going to work here because you can only tab complete on the local server. So I would need to know the rest of it, right? And there was more like Acme challenge. And then slash. And so if that's the right directory, then hitting enter right now would attempt to send this local file over there. All right, so I'm going to take that out. You can also run SCP the other way. So I could grab a file from a remote server. To do that, I put the remote server in the file that I want. Let's see, grab a file from over there, like temp Gary. So in there, there's a temp directory, and in the temp directory, I know there's a file called gary.txt, and I want to get that file and I want to put it in here. So a dot means this directory. That one I will run. So there's a couple different ways you can proceed with something like this. Enter your password, and then it's going to do the file. And if you have the location right, if you type your password right, it should all just work. Oh, There it is. So that in this case, right, because I have remote first and then local second, it grabbed that remote file, put it locally. The other version, I had a local file that I wanted to push remotely. So you got to get that order correct. And SCP is secure copy versus SSH, which is secure shell, which gets me over there. A couple other things quick on my remote, my local server here. This is a testing environment for web stuff I do. So there's going to be different servers running here. So if I do a PSA-A on this, we can see the SSH, that's this connection over here running right now. And there's a bunch of kernel stuff going on. Zoom is running for my recording right now. The SSH agent is there to coordinate who I am when I make those connections. Some GNOME stuff running. It's a lot of stuff running. So it's hard to look at all of that stuff there. So often when we do a process list like that, we're going to do something to whittle down what we're looking for. So I'm going to do a grep. Maybe if I do a *D, that should be stuff that ends with a D. There should be some things that end with D. Okay, let's do grep SSH. Oh, I don't have SSHD. Oh, maybe I don't have any end with D daemons running on my user. Let's see what should be running. Nginx should be running. And I don't even have to type the whole thing. If I just type part of it, it'll find anything that has that phrase in it. What else is probably running? Some kind of SQL should be running. Really? Oh, it's listed as MariaDB here. Yeah, so MariaDB is a fork of MySQL, which is a database server. All right, just some fun with the command line. Enjoy, do good Linux stuff. I'll see you later.